Remember me? Hey, I need information. You can give it to me now.
Alright, chill.
Come on.
What happened to your voice?
Okay, can we talk about Donald Glover as Aaron Davis? My god, is that great casting. Donald Glover is a great actor. I haven't really seen him in much, but where I have seen it, he's great. And he definitely loves the Spider-Man character. Like, he voiced the Miles Morales character in one of the animated stuff. And, like, in an episode Community, he's, like, wearing the Spider-Man pajamas. He clearly really likes the character. So I like how people keep going, like, hey, we have a Spider-Man movie. You wanna, be in it? And I think it's really interesting, and I hope that maybe when, I don't know, a couple years, like maybe 10 years from now, when maybe Tom Holland Spider-Man stops, we get Miles Morales. Maybe even before that, we get Miles, and I'd like to see a live-action Miles Morales, and obviously he would be in it, because he's Aaron Davis, and I like how he mentions Miles. Kind of, he says he has a nephew, and there is the lead scene where he directly mentions Miles, and I'm really excited to see where they go with the Miles storyline, and I hope they just don't ignore it, like sweep it under the rug like a reference. So yeah, I really like to see him in like a Prowler suit and like see a live action Miles Morales. I think that would be really cool.
Get to the top deck. We're getting out of here.
Okay, so can we just talk about the trailer real quick, because this whole fairy sequence, it's great. I really like it. But, like, it was all shown in the trailer. Like, it wasn't even, like, spread out across multiple trailers, so it kind of was. But a lot of it is just in, like, I don't know which trailer it is, but one of the trailers, they basically just shows the entire scene. Which sucks. And it sucks that Sony never learns their lesson with this, and because they always just show a bunch of important scenes like this, and especially with Spider-Man movies, because like, isn't like there a Spider-Man 2 trailer where they reveal the scene where Harry learns that Peter's Spider-Man, or something like that? And then with Venom, they literally showed the last scene of the movie in that movie. And then with Spider-Man Far From Home, they revealed that MJ knows Peter is Spider-Man. So it's like, Sony, don't spoil your own movies. Like, I feel like they're mistaking spoiling a movie to building up hype, when, like, they're two different things. You don't have to spoil a movie to build up hype for that movie. It's just, I think they kind of need to learn their lesson. Yeah.
Previously on Peter Screws the Pooch, I tell you to stay away from this. Instead, you hacked a multi-million-dollar suit so you could sneak around behind my back.
I both like and don't like Iron Man's inclusion in this movie, because, like, Robert Downey Jr. does a great job in this movie, as he always does as Tony Stark. And he is very much, you can't really write the movie without him. Like, even if you tried, like, change the plot, like, you still got an old Civil War where they had that connection. But, like, it does reinforce the whole Spider, Iron Man Jr. sort of thing, argument, and I agree. Like, maybe dial it down, mention Uncle Ben, and yeah, I'm mixed on his appearance, and we're getting the, if you're nothing without that suit, you shouldn't have it, and yeah, that this is a great scene. So yeah. It was really cute. I really like that montage, just him getting prepared for him coming. That's really fun, and him and Marissa Tomei, they're a great pairing in terms of Peter and Ant-Man, and now we're getting to the reveal, my favorite part of the movie.
He must be Peter.
when I first saw this movie, I thought he'd somehow figured out that Peter was Spider-Man and that he kidnapped Liz or something. But no, it's much more simple. It's just his dad. And it's such an intense scene, but that's so normal at the same time, because Peter's just like, crap. He's just like, oh no, my crush's dad is the Vulture guy. And it's such a good scene, it's such a good reveal, and it's screenwriting at its best. And then we get to the car scene, and oh my god, the car scene might be one of my favorite moments in Spider-Man cinematic history. Just because it's so well written and so good. Oh my god, I love this scene.
You disappeared.
No, I did not disappear.
Yes, you did. You disappeared like you always do, like you did in DC too.
I love the acting of this, and how Liz basically tells Vulture that he's Spider-Man without even knowing it. It reminds me of that scene in the original Spider-Man, where that dinner scene where Green Goblin finds out that Peter's Spider-Man. But I think it's better here because he doesn't find out, and it's like a slow build to it. And he does mention the voice. That's a big nitpick of like all the Spider-Man movies, that no one recognizes his voice. And he they acknowledge it. He's like, you know, your voice kind of sounds familiar. Have we met before? And then she's like, yeah, you always disappear, like at the Washington Monument at my party. And he's like, that's the events that Spider-Man were. And then you get the red light, and then it's really intimidating, but then it changes to a green light, which is somehow more intimidating because it's the color of the Vulture. So then he starts cluing Peter in, and it's amazing. I love it. It's probably my favorite scene in the movie. And he knows now, and he's just playing with Peter, because Peter he knows. So then he's just like, man, I think he's starting to know that I'm Spider-Man. And oh my god, I love that scene and everything about it.
I'm sorry. You don't deserve this.
And I love this. He wants to dance with his crush. He wants to spend the night with his friends. He wants to have the best night he possibly could. And he just wants to hang out with his crush, which he spent this entire movie trying to talk to. But he knows that he can't. And he knows that, like, he just knows because it doesn't sit right with him. And it's such a good way to incorporate that with great power comes great responsibility. And because he could just turn a blind eye. It's just some Stark tech. It's not something big. Vulture isn't gonna murder thousands of people. He's just gonna steal some Stark tech. And Stark is sort of an asshole. And he's been an asshole to Peter. But Peter knows that that is not the right thing to do. So I'm gonna turn this music, this fun thing down, because Peter knows it doesn't sit right, because it's not the right thing to do. But saving all that and just sending Toombs to prison would be the right thing to do. And it's such a good Spider-Man moment, and it's just, oh my god, I love a lot of things in this movie. Not the movie as a whole, but like a lot of these things I just absolutely adore.
Hey. Please turn! Please turn!
Right, so this finale is pretty good. Not much to say about it other than the fact that, it's kind of a bit weird because, it has all the, the strobe lights and all that, and I feel bad for people with epilepsy, and all that, scenes in movies that do have, strobe lights and affect those. I think that's kind of bad, but I don't think they can really anticipate that sometimes, but sometimes they could keep it in mind. But yeah, other than that, I think that was a great scene. I like how it's kind of smaller compared to, something, say, Avengers Age of Ultron, where, a whole city gets deployed into the air. I like how it's smaller. It's just, sort of robbery. Then, people's lives get endangered when it goes to the city, but, he takes care of it. And I really like it. And I really like how he still tries to, save Vulture, despite the fact that Vulture's been doing nothing but trying to kill him this entire time. But, Peter's just a naturally good person, and even though he's trying to kill him, he's still trying to... He still thinks he's worth saving, because he's a human being. I really like that. It shows that he's still very much a hero. Yeah. Also really like that Vulture lives. I feel like a lot of Spider-Man movies end with the villain, or at least the main villain, getting killed off in some way. I like how Vulture, he just goes to jail because, Peter wouldn't let him die on purpose. So, try his best to save the people, even if they're trying to kill him. So yeah, then he could have saved Vulture, so he did. And it's really nice how he just gets into prison instead of dying and going to the afterlife. It's really nice, really nice.
Thank you. My friends call me MJ.
So let's talk about Michelle Jones, aka MJ. I don't mind Zendaya's MJ. I like this new interpretation of the character. I think it's great, and I think they have good chemistry between Zendaya and Tom Holland. But why couldn't you just call her MJ? It's Mary Jane, sorry. It feels like they had the character, and then at the end, Sony was like, well, no, you need an MJ in this movie. And then they had this character called Michelle, and they're like, Michelle Jones, there we go, MJ, it's our version. I don't know if it was a licensing thing, kind of like with Uncle Ben, but I just think it would have been better if, we didn't really know her name, and, maybe in that scene, they're like, I think we should go to, Miss Mary Jane Watson, and then she was like, yeah, and I think that would have been a cooler reveal than her just being like, yeah, my name's MJ, actually, yeah. Right, so the movie is over. We just watched Spider-Man Homecoming. I was going to talk about the Aunt May finding out his Spider-Man, but I think I'll save that for Far From Home. And speaking of which, this video ended up being much more longer than I thought it would be. I thought I'd just record 15 minutes for Homecoming, and then 15 minutes for Far From Home, and that'd be a 30-minute video. But no, we got 30 minutes from just the one movie. So, I'm just gonna have to split this video up into two, I guess. So, I'll release them at the same time, so you don't have to wait a week. So, yeah, if you're watching this and you want to see my reactions to things in Spider-Man Far From Home, click on that video since it's almost definitely out. Yeah. I guess this would end up being sort of a commentary. Yeah.